Hey, what is going on, everybody? Today I'm coming to you with the first of a new series I want to start called 1 Hour Reviews. In this series, I'm going to take a game with little to no players. I'm going to spend an hour playing that game. Now, why am I just playing for an hour? Well, that's to make sure that if this game sucks, I am still within the Steam refund timeline. If the game is good, though, I'll keep it. Today's game is Running Riot. It's an action roguelike twin-stick shooter released into early access by Party Moose Games in March of 2023, where it remains in early access today. Now, it's important to know that I love action roguelikes. These are some of my favorite games, and are games that I will invest hours upon hours into to unlock everything and see how fun it can be and how broke it might build. Yeah. With this one, I was only going to invest 1 hour, so I had to get started playing right away. So this game has three classes that you can play as. First is the Commando. He is your typical soldier type character, a very common first character for games like this. The second is called Edge, a sword wielding character that dashes around slashing enemies, a very common second character for games like this. And the third is called Tempest. Tempest is sort of a tank type character that wields a giant hammer and called out lightning. I figured when I was just going to start the game, I should probably play as Commando. It felt, very suitable to start with the pseudo default character. This character felt pretty cool. He had an assault rifle as his basic attack, he could throw grenades, he had a melee slash, and a small dodge to get away from enemies. So let's dive into the game. First, let's talk about the combat. The combat in this game is pretty much the stereotypical twin stick shooter. You move with the mouse and keyboard or one stick, and you aim with the mouse with the other stick. And that system works great here. What doesn't work is the hitboxes. I know for sure that some of the shots I missed were because I didn't lead my rounds far enough. But there are other times when I'm 10,000% positive, absolutely certain that my round hit an enemy, but the bullet moved right past him. This was obviously less than ideal and ended many of my runs. So the combat was okay, but what about the enemies? The enemies in this game showed variation as you progressed through the levels. In the first level, it was these little bandits with knives or swords. The second level added an enemy that would throw grenades. In the third level, they added an enemy who shot these rockets, and another that had this sort of line ability that would do some pretty big damage if you were caught in it. I never made it past the fourth level in my hour of play, but I like to imagine there are more and more types of enemies as you progress through the game. Enemy variation is nice, but were they tough? Yes. Yes, they were. The bandits could quickly overwhelm in the first level. The grenade guys were rough in the second, and you basically had to kill them as soon as you saw them, because two of them on the screen at the same time would ruin the run. The rocket guys and the other new one in the third stage were really tough to deal with as well. These enemies made the game really hard, and with no real way to mitigate damage, it made the game really hard. So maybe if I played more than an hour, I would see that I got strong enough to kill them before they became an issue. But in the time I played, it was pretty rough. Could that be a skill issue? Probably. So as you're going through the game, enemies typically drop a little bit of XP, but occasionally throughout the run, each bonus, there'd be bonus XP that would drop or health icons that would drop from the enemies, which was pretty useful. In this game, health is really important because besides being skilled at the game, there is no way to prevent or mitigate damage. There is no armor or other mitigating factors. So death comes quickly unless you dodge fast enough or let the enemies and their attacks just pile up. I know, skill issue. The XP that you get is used to level up and unlock improvements to your character specific to that round. And these improvements are typically just upgrades to your character skills, very much like every other action roguelike. I did come across an upgrade called a rad ability, but I'm not really sure what those are. They seemed like ultimate skills, but I got them so rarely and I wasn't really able to tell for sure what they did or how useful they were. One thing I look for in games like these are ways to upgrade your character stats permanently beyond just the round bonuses that you get from the XP unlocks. This game has that which is great. At the end of each round, you get a currency called tickets. These tickets are spent to upgrade your character through the perk system. I was really pleased to see that because some games miss this factor, but I feel like in this genre, it's very important. Now, the hour I played, I was able to get down to the second tier out of 3 for the perks tree for the commando, and the improvements were noticeable, but it didn't make me feel overpowered, which was nice. So let's talk about the level design. It was okay. The first level was in a parking lot with a couple cars. That was fine. The second level was a really small rectangle. I think it was supposed to be like a back alley. It was not very inspired, but it definitely played into the difficulty because there was nowhere to run from the grenade enemies. The third level had these laser beams that would do damage, and it was pretty neat. I'm pretty sure the enemies could be damaged by the lasers too, but I didn't notice until my hour was almost up, so I don't really know for sure. No, if so, that's cool because being able to use the environment in a situation or in a game like this would be pretty cool. Now, the graphics in this game are fine. In this genre, graphics aren't really important. I mean, think about Burrito. It's a 2D potato that slides around. That game is pretty sick. The aesthetic of the game, for running Riot, is good though. I like how the game looks, and it's pleasing to the eye. The menus are a little less appealing, but for the main gameplay, I really enjoyed it. After I spent a decent amount of time, playing the characters, I did, most of my gameplay was spent with command, but I did try some of the other characters. The sword-wielding character Edge was really neat. I felt like she did some good damage, but all of the abilities seemed to be mostly the same thing as the other abilities, and it made it sort of confusing. It was all just a different variation of slash with the sword. There was just so much mouse button mashing to swing a sword. That was really it. Overall, kind of the letdown. Tempest, the hammer-wielding lightning character, was cool though, and I felt like he had the most ability to make cool synergies between his different types of abilities and different upgrades you could get throughout the game. Like he was able to do melee damage, lightning damage, had a pretty cool mobility that was also pretty fun. I think if I played this game for more than an hour, I would probably spend a decent amount of time unlocking perks for this character because he seems the most interesting. At the end, I played for 50-something minutes. I ended the timer, I ended the recording because I knew I didn't have enough time to do another run. I really didn't want to go over the hour time. At the end, how do I feel about this game? Overall, I gotta say I like it. According to Steam charts, only 3 people have ever played this before me. I'm really not sure why. It's got everything that a game in this genre needs. It looks good and it plays well. Maybe it wasn't marketed or hyped, but, more than me and 3 other people should play this game. With a few more characters, a few minor fixes, like the hitboxes, a way to mitigate damage, and honestly throw in some achievements or something, I would be honestly itching to come back and 100% this game. Now, will those things get added? I don't know. The dev's last update, as shown in the game, is that they're taking a break for their birthday in April of 2023, but that they would be back with more. Honestly, I hope this is true because at the end of my hour, I will definitely be keeping this game. It was fun, and I definitely see myself playing it some more. The Steam link to this game is in the description of the video down below, but I definitely think it's worth the $3 price tag. Thank you everybody for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel. And if you end up playing this game, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, see you later, and thanks for watching.